Let's start over with Sha'Carri Richardson, the Prefontaine Classic. So we had a big win for Sha'Carri. She ran, what was it? A time of 10.83 to win the women's 100. Julien Alfred second with a 10.93. Dina Asher-Smith third with a 10.98. Elaine Thompson-Herah coming in last with a time of 11.3. What do you think this race told us? We saw some first races from a lot of people. What were your thoughts from this competition here?
I think this race told me a lot. I took a lot from this race, but first and foremost, Sha'Carri is ahead of everybody else. Like everybody else in the entire field. Obviously, she had Elaine there. She had Talu there. She had Julien there to kind of gauge herself. It was her 100-meter opener. So she got with some ladies that have been running, some ladies that haven't, and she was able to win convincingly as an opener. So I think the commentator said it well. She's primed and she's showing she's ready for the Olympic trials, and she came, executed, knocked it out the park.
Yeah, it was a big kind of like statement win of last time. I mean, I know it was, I think 2 Prefontaines ago, where it's pretty much the exact opposite. When Sha'Carri was coming off of, or 3 years ago, when Sha'Carri was coming off of her suspension, and then she was coming back, and we saw Elaine drop that crazy time at pre, and it was like all hyped up. We're seeing the Jamaicans going up against each other, and then we had Sha'Carri who was coming up at the end and just has a complete redemption arc. Flip that thing totally around. Of now she's coming out here with a big win. I wasn't watching the broadcast, but it looked like after her race she was like, he's like, yo, I'm that girl, like I'm one of them ones. Like she was hyped up to get that win. So I think it's big for for her to get that against what this very well could be most of the people that are going to be in that 100-meter finals field.
Yeah, absolutely. She held good composure. And it looked like an opener. Like that was her first time touching 100. So it's gonna be a good one for her. And I actually saw this graphic on Twitter this morning about Elaine, because at first I didn't really know how to feel about it, and then I saw this to put it in perspective. I think she ran 11:30, right?
Yeah.
So in 2021, when she won the Olympics, her first meet was 11:21. So she just opened 11:30. So like, I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna hit the panic button on that. But I did think it was like a little, like, it was something to see with her, obviously getting last and stuff like that. But I wouldn't make a story out of it. She's the Olympic champ. Like, she's gonna be ready when it's time. I don't think she's gonna be Sha'Carri this year, but she'll be ready.
Yeah. So I hear that. This is a little bit of my concern. I guess we'll take it to just the broader Jamaican track and field right now. This is my thought. So we saw Shericka Jackson last week open up, came out flat. She won, but didn't look great in her 200-meter victory. We've now got Elaine Thompson-Herah, who comes out, doesn't look great. 11:30 comes in last in both of their openers. And then we haven't seen Shelly-Ann Fraser Pryce at all this season. Have no idea where she's at. Is that it's a little concerning to me, where we have the 3 biggest names in track that either A, haven't started, or B, if they have started, haven't looked great, or in their self of yeah, I get it. She ran 11:21 to open up, when she won the Olympics, but you coming in dead last in this race. It's a little bit oh man, we only have, I mean, granted, they don't have to really be turning things up because the way that their trials runs, they'll be fine. But I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned. Why aren't you that concerned about it?
I think that they have all seen the highest peak. They have the composure and the experience that these other women don't. And I think a lot of times when you get into those crucial moments, that plays a factor in somebody stepping up or not stepping up. Now, I don't know too much, and I don't want to weigh too much on the age thing, because Shericka's only 26 or 27. She might be 28. But Shericka's not, older, but I know that, Shelly-Ann and Elaine, they're both on the other side of 30. We've seen people sprint into, their early to mid 30s, but there's outliers. And maybe, this is a way of age presenting itself. It might be taking them a little bit longer to get into their rhythm, or it might be taking them a bit longer to feel like they're at the point that they're ready to compete or ready to open up. Contractually, they might have to be doing these things, even though they know they're not ready to compete, so there's a lot of different factors. But since they do have that veteran experience, I'm not going to push the panic button on them just yet. There's factors that's going on and stuff that like raise an eyebrow. But I'm not, like they've shown me too much over the span of recent history.
Mm-hmm. Does the fact that it's in Olympic year at all, like let's say this was last year and we saw, going into World Championships, we see her, come opening up in 11:30. Like, would have that changed your perspective? Would have you been okay? I'm hitting the panic button a little bit more, or is it not changed that much based on being an Olympic year this year?
It wouldn't change too much. Like I feel it's certain people you could kind of put more confidence in than others. And when it comes to Elaine, Shericka, and Shelly-Ann, like I said it, like they've shown me too much in big moments for me to panic about something like this. Like it's something to take note of, but like I said, I'm gonna never panic on them until they really show me like, okay, yeah, it's not looking good.
Yeah. If I'm it's interesting too. So I was back on track Twitter and taking a look at Jamaica. My favorite Twitter is going to Jamaican track Twitter and seeing what they all got to say, and it's very similar thing. So I don't know if you got a little Jamaican blood in you there, Noah. You saying a lot of the same stuff there, man. No, so that they're like, nah, like it's her opener, she'll be all right. I don't know. Like I think of it also from the competitor side of things. Of like, not only was it an 11:30, but like you're losing to 8 other people. Like that's as a competitor, that's a big one. We'll get into the Josh Kerr and the Jakob Ingebrigtsen thing too, which I think there's a little talking about competition. But I think the fact that you're coming in after all these other women. Like if I'm Sha'Carri, Julien Alfred, Dean Asher Smith, Daryl Nita, if I'm all these people, like I'm feeling great of I just like destroyed the former Olympic champion in her own race. Like I'd be feeling pretty good about it. I don't know how good you'd be feeling about it, after something like this,
I would be feeling good. I would be feeling very good, but I'm also going to keep in mind, but that's still Elaine. That's still Elaine. She probably had an off day, something like, yeah, I beat her today. I got her. You know what I'm saying? She know I'm right here, but I still got to keep in mind, like, okay, she's still going to be ready when it counts. Like, so maybe a little bit of a mental edge, like, okay, I know I can beat this person, but still having enough respect, like, okay, but they can still spin the block on me. So
yeah, she won't get her get back eventually. She won't be back there. So
right.
I feel you. And so outside of just the Sha'Carri, Julien Alfred, like I think I'm liking the way that she's running. She's been extremely consistent throughout this in just her entire career. I feel like going back into them Texas days, like she's always up there. Like how you feeling about her going into the championships here?
I love Julien, bro. She's my dark horse. She's my dark horse champion. I mean, it's way too early for predictions or anything like that. But after her indoor season and her, just missing out on the medal, like I seen missing out on the medal last summer. I seen like, just that like the extra like oomph indoors, you know what I'm saying? And I seen the way she's running, what she's putting together, her strength even on a 4x4, she's my dark horse. She's not my number one pick, but she's my dark horse. So I'm definitely excited about Julien, man. She's showing some good stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I was watching because like the warm-ups when I was at the practice and everything. And yeah, she got some power, man. She's strong. Like them block starts were she was out